Hello crafty friends, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at some more Distress Oxide inks. We're going to be looking at blue violets and red violets. In the blue violet range I have Chipped Sapphire, Faded Jeans and Stormy Sky. And in the red violets I've got Seedless Preserves, Picked Raspberry, Kitsch Flamingo and Milled Lavender. These are just the colours that I happen to have. I think there are about 70, getting on for 70 colours in the Distress Oxide range, and I definitely don't have all of them. The colours I've been sharing in this series are just the ones that I've liked the look of, bought and kept. So let's take a look at the blue violets. These are between blue and violet on the colour wheel. Chipped Sapphire is a beautiful indigo colour. Faded Jeans and Stormy Sky are kind of lighter versions of that. So using all three together you can get this lovely gradation of colour. This is what it looks like when you smush them. I started on this one with the darkest colour, then I added the medium and the Stormy Sky on top. So you get a nice variation again. And here are the red violets. They're between red and violet on the colour wheel. And again, you can see how you get this beautiful gradation of colour as you blend across this spectrum here. And this is what they look like when you smush them together. I covered the whole of the background with the Milled Lavender, which is very pale. You can barely see it when you smush it. It's a slightly cooler red violet than the others as well. It almost looks a bit blue violet, but when you compare it to, say, Shaded Lilac, which is a definite violet colour, you can see the red in it. So as I say, I covered the whole of the paper with the Milled Lavender, then I smushed on Kitsch Flamingo, dried it, Picked Raspberry, dried it, and Seedless Preserves and dried it, and you get this beautiful layered effect. For today's cards, I thought I would colour some texture paste with some Distress Oxides. So I've got Indigo Blue Super Thick Slap It On, which is a texture paste that dries clear. So when you mix it with Distress Oxide, once it's dry, you get the true ink colour. So I'll pop a bit on my mat, take some Super Thick Slap It On. You can use any texture paste you like for this. And I've got my grip mat here and a panel of mixed media paper, and I'm going to place a stencil over the top, and I'll mix my ink with my texture paste to get a nice even colour, and I'm going to place it at the top of my card. This is a cake icing scraper tool, but it's great for stenciling, and I use that to drag the paste down. So I'll take the stencil off carefully and I'll give that a clean and lift this off and set it aside to dry. Different texture pastes take different lengths of time to dry, so it might be a while before you can use it. And I'm going to spread this. I could put it through another stencil, but I'm going to spread this on here to clean my spreader, but it also colours the card and gives it a bit of a glossy finish. It's great for die cutting from. This will go in my box of backgrounds and bits. So I actually did some texture pasting yesterday, so I would have some dry panels to play with. These are my blue violets. I used Stormy Sky for this one, Faded Jeans for this one, and Chipped Sapphire for this one. I haven't covered the whole panel. I've gone for kind of raggedy edges to make it look more interesting and to leave some white space. These are my red violets. I did this one with Milled Lavender, and I did this one with Picked Raspberry. And for all of these, I used the Super Thick Slap It On. As I say, it dries clear so you get the true colour of the ink. For Kitsch Flamingo, I used this Indigo Blue True Grit Artist Quality Texture Paste Fine, which dries white. And it's got a very fine grit to it. So it makes a nice interesting texture, but because it dries white, it lightens the ink colour. So the Kitsch Flamingo is a bit paler, but I've got some nice scales with a matte, slightly textured finish. This is Seedless Preserves, and I used this Indigo Blue True Grit Artist Quality Texture Paste Rough, which is really rough. It's got some really big chunky bits of rock, pumice stone maybe, I don't know, in it. I think it was pumice stone. And I thought that would look quite interesting on a brickwork design. And this is Seedless Preserves with the rough True Grit texture paste. And again, it dries white, so it makes every colour you add to it pastel. So this is a much lighter colour than true Seedless Preserves. I had quite a bit of texture paste left over from each of those, so I spread the spare on this bit of card and mixed the colours together. So I might use this for die cutting. I'm going to make a card for you on camera, and then I will make some similar cards using the other backgrounds off camera. And I'll come back at the end of the video and show you how they all turned out. I've got the picked raspberry piece here, and I've mounted it on that blended panel, and I'm giving it a 1/8 of an inch 3.2mm border all the way around. And I'll bevel that edge to make it less knife cut and more die cut. So we'll pop that on a card blank. I'm going to use my smushy panel next to die cut from. Just want to unify everything. Bind everything together a bit with my milled lavender. And to add shimmer and shine, you guessed it, gold spatters. I'll give that a dry. And I'm going to use these butterfly dies. They're my current favourites. Very pretty. So we've got 3 butterflies. I've got my Seedless Preserves brush here, and I'm just going to go around the edge with the residual ink. I've not re-inked it. I don't want it too strong. I'll just give the edge a little bit of definition. For my sentiment, I've chosen this Sending Warm Wishes, and I'm going to place it here on this intersection. The mixed media paper is a slightly creamy paper compared to the card blank and the sentiment. But I think it works because I've given it this colourful mat around the outside. To add my butterflies, I'm popping a little bit of high-tack white glue in the body area, and I'm placing this large butterfly here so it's heading towards the sentiment and kind of embracing it with its wings. And for the butterfly's body, I shall add some Nouveau drops in a little body type shape, and then some Nouveau drops around and about to increase that sense of movement and direction and energy, and for more shimmer and shine and dimension. So that's my first card done. Do stick around because I'll show you how the rest of the cards turned out in just a second. Okay, I'm back, and here is the card we just made. Very happy with that. Card number 2 has the milled lavender texture paste in the background. I placed my sentiment 1/3 of the way up the card in the middle, and I die cut some flowers out of this bit of texture paste leftover paper, and I gave them gold flower centres. It's a pale matte gold, and I sprinkled some little circles around as well. This is the Kitsch Flamingo Fine Grit texture paste background. Because I had fishy scales in the design, I used this Sizzix jellyfish die, and I cut it out a couple of times, one from shimmery blue cardstock and one from shimmery purple cardstock, and gave it lots of tentacles, added some gold for bling, and a Just For You sentiment down there. And card number 4, the last of the red violet cards. I placed my sentiment down here on top of my brick wall. Because I used the rough texture paste with the Seedless Preserves, it's very bumpy, so I used a lot of glue to stick everything down. I then added a gold balloon die cut and filled it in, inlaid it with some smushy background. And then I added some extra hearts to spread the gold out a bit. With these 3 cards, I decided to matte the panels with black to tie into the black of the sentiment, and it also helps the colours really pop. This is the Stormy Sky texture paste background, and I put the panel off to the right hand side and cut it there. And the reason I did that is because when I added it to the mat, I cut it really wonky and couldn't get it straight. So I thought I would get rid of it altogether, just have the panel coming in from the side. To matte it, I used the blended panel of the blue violet, so it's Stormy Sky up here, Faded Jeans here, and Chipped Sapphire down here. I cut 3 butterflies from this leftover bit of texture paste background, put them fluttering up the card, and then added Gold Nouveau drops as I did with the card I made on camera. This is the Faded Jeans background, and I matted it on the smushed paper. So it's got a bit of variation around it, and I think that goes well with the distressed nature of these letters. I put my thank you right up there so it was opposite everything that's down here. And then I took a bit of the red violet smushed paper, die cut a heart, and I placed it on this intersection, sitting nicely on this texture paste. I added a gold heart and then lots of little gold hearts around and about a bit. And for card 7, the Chipped Sapphire texture paste, I decided to keep everything really simple. I placed a here for you, a third of the way down and in the middle. And then I simply added some silver, matte silver cardstock hearts around the sentiment because it's got quite a sombre feel. So I didn't want to add too much to it. I did matte the panel on the blended bit again. This is a spare blended bit. So we've got Chipped Sapphire at the top, Faded Jeans here, and down into Stormy Sky. This bit of texture paste with the seedless preserves that I made in this video is all nice and dry now, so that's going to go in my box of backgrounds and bits. So that's 7 cards made with blue violets and red violets, and that brings us to the end of our tour of the Distress Oxide colour wheel, or at least the inks that I have. In the next video, I'm going to show you the neutral Distress Oxides that I have, the greys, the browns. So I hope to see you back here for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.